Holly, say happy Thanksgiving. Welcome back to Leah's Loot. Today we're going to review my December budget. Hi, Bridget. Bridget just video bombed you. Just going to walk through the budget as it stands right now. Always do my my upcoming month just before the month begins on paper. This is a method that I learned going through Financial Peace University, and that helps me just to get a general sense, as specific as possible, but you know, life throws you curveballs. My November budget got blown because I had some extra food expenses for Thanksgiving. The menu sort of changed near the end, and also a couple of last minute purchases in addition to the generator I bought last month, for in case I face a grid down event, because our weather has been extremely cold and now there's another polar vortex coming through, and it's not even December yet here in Western PA and the West Hills of the Alleghenies. But I live in a valley, and so I get a tendency of higher winds that come down the hillside and stuff, and my power goes out pretty regularly. And the last few years I've been able to muddle through okay. You know, I live in a cabin, and I have supplies on hand. I have canned food if I need it. I have things I can feed the pets. I can build a fire and cook meat if my freezer's going out. But these are things that if I don't have to do it, I don't want to. So just for convenience, I purchased an extra solar charger and a couple of solar lamps. I purchased some gas additive that helps keep your gasoline fresh so that it's ready to go if I need to use my new generator. Bought some powdered milk to have on hand as a shelf-stable alternative to just water all the time, and some water purification tablets. Those kinds of things, they weren't in the budget, but I felt like they were necessary, so I went ahead and did it. The name of the game then in December is catching up and replenishing the money that I spent on that, so that I can go into the new year with, you know, a clean slate. So as always, I have two bank accounts. The one on the left is for my variable expenses. That's my local bank where I can deposit cash and I can transfer back and forth between my high yield savings account. The one on the right is my long-term bank. I've had this bank for years. It's out of state in a place I used to live, and it gives me the opportunity to just have my big paychecks deposited directly there using the app, and all of my automated bills paid, and then I can withdraw cash or write myself a check to my local bank if I need to transfer funds from one to the other. So that way I can keep my bills money separate from my variable expense money. I have a place to put cash if I need it, and I have the good benefits of having a Kasasa account at my old bank. My paychecks are $1,541 twice a month, always on the first, the 15th of the month and the 30th of the month. I say the first here because it came today in the mail, and I'll deposit it today using the mobile app, and it'll be available in my account on the 1st. So I do have my end November paycheck in hand now, and that covers all my expenses for the first 2 weeks of the month, and then on the 15th I'll get another paycheck that'll carry me through to the end. My smaller job, I make $600 every other week, so I have 24 paychecks from my big amount and 26 paychecks from my small amount. November was a 3-check month, but tomorrow, which is November 30th, is my 3rd check of November. That's the check I'll use to carry me through the first 2 weeks of December. Check number 2 will carry me through till close to Christmas. This is like the first check of December, and then my check on the 28th will be my 2nd check of December. And at this point, that's just bonus cash, because that's like an extra paycheck that I've just been kind of kicking the can down the road to use when the time comes. I have some money saved up to purchase a real Christmas tree. I live literally at the bottom of a Christmas tree farm, and I live in Indiana County, Pennsylvania, which is the Christmas tree capital of the world. So I would be ashamed to have a fake tree in my house. I always have a real tree. I'll probably be purchasing my tree this week, the first week of December, and get that up and decorated in time for Christmas. And for me, I celebrate the whole Christmas tide. So Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, that begins the 12 days of Christmas. And then the 12 days of Christmas ends with Epiphany, which is January 6th. That's the Three Kings Day. So my Christmas tide doesn't end until the first week of January. So I need to keep my tree alive long enough for that. I have the last piece of an electric bill. Because I was on a low income for most of this year, I qualified for a break in my electric bill temporarily. That break ends now, and I'll start making regular payments of $129 a month, but this little $49 bill is the last of the smallest ones. That comes out on Monday. I saved $100 in gasoline this time. I drive a lot for my bigger job, except for the winter months. I don't do as much driving. I'm a superintendent of churches in West Virginia and Western Maryland, so I drive a lot in the hills, but in the winter months when the roads are bad, I just don't have to do that. And I also am anticipating that I'm not traveling at Christmas. I did travel at Thanksgiving and had a wonderful time, and I hope you did too. I went to my mom's house in Eastern Ohio. My brother and his family came and joined us, and mom and stepdad hosted in their home that they just finished building a year ago. So this was their first opportunity to do that. We had a great time. So I don't need as much gasoline for December as usual. I usually budget $120, which gives me approximately 4 tanks of gas in my little car. This time I'm covering three tanks, 3 full fillings, and that should be enough. I'm gonna have a $20 buffer, my whoops, $170 for food, $130 for pets. That's the same amount I've been budgeting in cash each month, but I deducted $10 from me and gave $10 to the pets because I have one extra cat who lives with me when it's cold out. So I just want to make sure I have some food for her. I have $30 in personal spending. I'm not doing anything for Givey because I had a little holdover for my giveaway money. And I have $101 then that I can use for savings challenges for the first part of December. Over here, my first tithe will come out. These are just automated right from my checking account. So I think the next check is issued on Tuesday and will be delivered to my church in time for them to be able to deposit it next week. I'm caught up. I'm actually ahead on my quarterly taxes. And with that one tax payment, usually have one every week. And so 2 come out of a single paycheck. But this time, because I'm ahead, I can skip one of those and use that money toward paying back my generator. So I only have to pay one tax payment, and then I can send my quarterly taxes in a little bit early and be all caught up and ready to start in January again. My Microsoft Office 365 subscription renews in the middle of this December. Amazon Prime, my term life, my rent is due every month at $425, and then once every few months I pay a $50 water bill. So this month is combined. I have $80 set aside for my Christmas tree. I probably won't need all of that, but I have it just in case. I recently bumped my $100 Schwab account allocation up to $135. Just taking advantage of some of the market changes. I'm interested in what's happening with some of the precious metals that are gaining value because our fiat currency has changed, and REITs, or real estate investment opportunities for low-income people, like so that I don't have to own a whole piece of real estate, but I can own shares in commercial real estate and make dividends off of that. My $99 a month goes to my standing subscriptions. That's just a sinking fund so that money is there every time a subscription needs to be paid, just like my Microsoft Office 365. I have a little bit of fund money. This is my buffer for when I'm in the town where my office is, and I have $205 left in savings challenges. That gets me through the first half of the month. The second half of the month looks pretty much the same. And then down here, I was calculating between what I am able to save from my paychecks is $1,243, and what I'm able to save from my November mileage checks is $424. So I have almost $1,700 in savings by the end of December from mileage reimbursement plus what I was able to save just by trimming some expenses and be able to pay down my credit card to zero by the end of the year and to beef up my car fund. This is especially exciting because with half of that, I will have achieved my original $3,000 goal, and then I'll have another couple hundred to put in. And there's a possibility I will get a Christmas bonus. I did the last couple years. It's not something I count on, but it is possible, and that would be $100 from one of my jobs, and that will go to my car fund as well. And that accelerates my opportunity to be able to replace my little Hyundai Accent that's a front wheel drive and doesn't hold all of my sound equipment and my dog at the same time for a 4-wheel drive that sits a little higher off the ground, feels safer on the roads, and I can haul all of my stuff and my puppy to my music gigs. That's the goal. So anyway, that's a look at how December is shaping up on paper anyway. We'll see how it goes. We'll do our best to try to stick with this. A budget is a guide. It's not hard and fast. If I have to make adjustments, I will. But these are goals that I set so that I can give all my loot a job and make my money do for me what I want it to do. I want my money to work for me, not the other way around. I hope you're giving all your loot a job too. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.